Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to do a few examples where we're simplifying some maybe complicated looking expressions. Okay, so for the first one, A, we have 3 to the power of x plus 4 plus 3 to the power of x minus 1 plus 3 to the power of x. So a good first thing to consider is what can we factor out of all 3 terms? Since we're adding all 3 terms, there's not a whole lot else we can do. And so let's think about factoring out something that is common to to all 3 terms. And so you might notice that there's a 3 to the power of x that's kind of common to all 3 terms. And so let's try to factor that outside. Now, 3 to the power of x times what would give us back 3 to the power of x plus 4? Well, when we multiply through by the same base, we add the exponents. And so that leaves us with 3 to the power of 4 inside the bracket. Next, 3 to the power of x times what would give us 3 to the power of x minus 1? Well, that would be 3 to the negative 1. Right, again, when we multiply through by the same base, we add exponents, and so that would bring us back the 3 to the x minus 1. And lastly, 3 to the power of x times what? This one's a little bit easier to consider, plus 1. Now let's go ahead and clean this up a bit. 3 to the power of 4, you might believe this in your head. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81, plus 3 to the power of negative 1, that means 1 over the reciprocal, 1 over 3 to the positive 1, and so that's simply 1 over 3, and plus 1 at the end. And so we have our 3 dx all the way up front. 81 plus 1 is 82, and as a mixed fraction, 82 to the third, and that's as good as it gets. So this is our simplified form. Okay? For the second one, we're dealing with more exponent rules. So we have root 2 times a times b cubed, all of that to the power of 4, and when we have an exponent to a higher exponent, we multiply the exponents, and so this is going to become, and the form hits everything inside the bracket, and so we're going to have root 2 to the power of 4. I'll remind you that the square root of 2 can be written as 2 to the power of 1/2, right? So what we're really going to have is 2 to the power of 1/2 times 4 times a to the power of 4 times b to the power of 3 times 4. Okay? All over. Again, the square hits everything inside the bracket, so we'll have 4 squared a to the power of multiplying the exponents when we have an exponent to a higher exponent, and so we get a to the 7 times 2, and we have b to the power of negative 2 times 2, like so. And now we can go ahead and clean this up a bit. So in the numerator, we have 2 to the power of 1/2 times 4. That means 2 to the power of 2. Next we have a to the 4, simply. And b to the power of 3 times 4 means b to the 12. All over 4 squared, that is 16. a to the 7 times 2 means a to the 14. And b to the negative 4. Remember, a negative exponent means reciprocal, right? And so now we can write this as 4 a to the 4, b to the 12. And now the b to the power of negative 4 in the denominator, we can take off the negative exponent and flip it, and so we can move it into the numerator. And so now, now our expression is going to look like so, right? And so we can simplify 4 over the 14 to 1 over 4. a to the 4 divided by a to the 14. When we divide by the same base, we're going to subtract the exponents. And so now what we'll be left with is 1 over 4. So simply a to the 4 is going to cancel 4 of the factors of a in the denominator. So that'll go down to 10, right? Taking 4 away in the top and in the bottom. And the b is going to add the exponents. Since we're multiplying by the same base, we add the exponents, and so b to the 12 times b to the 4 provides us with a b to the power of 16. And in the bottom, we still have that 4 out front, and we have an a to the 10. And so let's clean that up a little bit. Apologies for having that look a little bit messy, but there is our simplified expression. we get b to the 16 in the numerator over 4a to the 10. Again, just using our basic exponent rules, just putting them all together in a bit messier fashion. Right? Hope this helps. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, please let me know, and have a good day.